St. James's Park on January 15th, 2025, where Newcastle United decided to throw a party and Wolverhampton Wanderers brought, well, paper plates instead of presents. The final score? Newcastle 3, Wolves 0. But trust me, the story here is less about the goals and more about Isak's record-breaking streak, Anthony Gordon's finishing touch, and Wolves' apparent love for self-sabotage. Let's dive into this Premier League showdown that left Newcastle fans dreaming of top 4 glory and Wolves fans Googling how to avoid relegation. 1. Goals galore. Isak's brilliance and Gordon's seal of approval. First up, the goal-scoring extravaganza. Alexander Isak. Remember the name because he's rewriting the Premier League record books. Not 1 but 2 goals to his name, making him only the 4th player in history to score in 8 consecutive matches. Wolves' defense? They were basically extras in Isak's highlight reel. Let's talk about those goals. The first? A deflected shot that screamed, "I don't care how it goes in, as long as it counts." The second? A cool, close-range finish that made Wolves' backline look like they were in a team-building exercise called Let's Stand Still. And then, Anthony Gordon, Mr. Dependable, steps up to bury the third with an assist from Isak. At this point, the scoreboard was just a formality. Isak's deflected goal can be compared to a lucky pinball shot. It bounced, it ricocheted, and it found the net, like a ball on a mission. How about Gordon's goal? When Isak isn't scoring, he's out here serving assists like a 5-star waiter. Wolves, meanwhile, are still figuring out the menu. 2. Wolves' defensive woes, a comedy of errors. Now, let's spare a moment for Wolves, or as their fans might call them, the Heartbreak Kids. Their defensive debutant, Emmanuel Agbadou, had a night to forget. It's like he got lost somewhere between debut jitters and oops, my bad. Jorgen Strand Larsen almost gave Wolves a lifeline, but the post said, "Not today." And let's not even start on Santiago Bueno's disallowed goal for handball. Wolves' luck was so bad, it felt like the football gods had placed a curse on their kit. Let's check out Wolves' defensive struggles. Agbadou's debut wasn't bad. It was a PowerPoint presentation on how not to defend. How about the disallowed goal? Handball? Bueno must have thought he was auditioning for a volleyball team. 3. Newcastle's dominance, a masterclass in momentum. While Wolves were busy self-destructing, Newcastle were putting on a clinic. They dominated possession with 59.9%, boasted an XG of 1.99, and controlled the field tilt at 63%. Translation: Wolves barely got to play with the ball. Eddie Howe's men were a well-oiled machine, and Isak was the engine. He's not just scoring goals, he's building a case for a statue outside St. James's Park. And let's not forget Eddie Howe himself, football's quiet tactician, who praised Isak for his freedom and technical brilliance. Just look at Newcastle's possession stats. 59.9% possession. At this point, Wolves were just spectators with a better view. Let's highlight Eddie Howe's coaching brilliance. Eddie Howe gave Isak freedom, and Isak repaid him by turning Wolves' defense into a training dummy. 4. Fan reactions. Euphoria versus despair. Let's talk fan reactions, because what's football without some emotional whiplash? Newcastle fans were over the moon. Isak is now the toast of Tyneside, and the buzz about a top 4 finish is louder than ever. Some are even worried about bigger clubs swooping in for their star striker. Spoiler alert, Newcastle fans are already drafting the #KeepIsak hashtags. On the other hand, Wolves fans are somewhere between anger and existential dread. Their team is hovering dangerously close to the relegation zone, and Twitter, or X for the cool kids, is ablaze with memes of Wolves players wearing blindfolds on the pitch. Imagine Newcastle fans. They're probably naming their pets Isak at this point. Dogs, cats, goldfish, you name it. How about Wolves fans? Their group chat right now? A mix of crying emojis, angry rants, and a few "at least we hit the post" jokes. 5. Central discussion points. What this match means. This match wasn't just 3 points for Newcastle. It was a statement. Isak's record-breaking streak has cemented him as one of the Premier League's elite strikers. If he keeps this up, we might see him in the Ballon d'Or conversation, or at least trending on TikTok. 8 games in a row? At this rate, Isak could score blindfolded and still make the highlights. For Wolves, though, it's back to the drawing board. Their defense is leaking goals like a sieve, and their attackers couldn't find the net with a GPS. If they don't turn things around soon, it's going to be a long, painful season. Wolves' defense definitely needs more than coaching. It needs an exorcist. 6. Final thoughts, the Premier League roller coaster. So there you have it. Newcastle riding high, Wolves struggling to stay afloat, and Isak stealing all the headlines. This match was a microcosm of the Premier League, unpredictable, dramatic, and full of talking points. What do you think? Is Isak the next Premier League legend, or should Newcastle fans be worried about a transfer saga? And can Wolves find their way out of this mess, or is relegation calling their name? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, and subscribe for more football satire. Until next time, keep the banter alive, people.